A little interesting doing the 5 minutes because that's not usually my style, but we'll see how I do. I'm the president of Meridian, and I'm guessing that most of you don't know what Meridian is. So I'll tell you a little bit about us. We're a managed healthcare plan for Medicaid, and we are new to the area for the last 18 months. So we're a startup. 18 months ago we had no customers. Now we have 37,400 customers, and we're in 22 counties. So we're growing like crazy, and that makes for very interesting successes. And so I'd like to talk about two ideas that I think have really been a part of that success. And then I'd like to talk about leadership unless I'm getting cut off by the bell. So the two ideas I'd like to talk about: active listening, and it's kind of it's different than just listening. And then I'd like to talk about teamwork for success. So active listening, before I was in business, I was a physician, and I was specializing in nuclear medicine. So as a doctor, you learn to really listen to your patients in a way different than just what they say. Someone comes in and they say, I'm feeling fine, but they don't look so fine. They're a little disheveled, maybe don't look very healthy, rapid heart rate. You got mixed signals going. Or they say, I am in such pain, and they hop up on the exam table and they look at you like it's an everyday. Okay, something's not working here. Those same clues that you get as a doctor, you can ask clarifying questions, and you can get much better decisions made if you can understand what's really going on with the patient. That can be put into business as well. So let's say you have a project. You're in your early meetings. The director of operations, he's sitting there, he's taking notes in those meetings, and he's not really talking much, not asking questions, not really engaged in what you're saying, but seems to be nodding and taking notes. Think about it. If it's a big project and you know he's got lots to do, he should be asking a lot of questions. So think about what you're seeing and what you're actually seeing. And if you do that active listening, you can ask those clarifying questions. Perhaps he doesn't have enough resources. Perhaps there's 4 other priorities, as we all know, that are at the same time. So if you ask those clarifying questions, instead of 3 months down the line finding out this project's not going to work in this time frame, you'll find out up front, and you can figure out how to put the resources and do the things you need to make that project successful. So I really think actively listening to your to your employees really works for your customers too, but for your employees really is a great thing to do. And what it will do is your employees will then feel like they can talk to you in a different manner. Many times I think we're afraid of what someone might think if we're negative, if we're perceived as negative on a project. So it really helps both two-way communication. The other thing I'd like to talk about is teamwork towards success. So in our plan, one of our goals, we have goals that are in your face. They're on TVs, they're at every corner. We over-communicate goals, and I can't stress that I think that's a really good thing. One of our goals is to be the #1 health plan for Medicaid in the United States, and that's a big goal. And what you can do there is you have to keep your members healthier. So we call all our members in the first 30 days. We tell them about what the plan is about. We ask them what their health is like, do a health resource exam. Then we talk to them about if they haven't had a physical or any preventive care. We ask them, could you stay on the line? We're going to call the doctor's office where you're supposed to go, and we're going to get you hooked up with a doctor so that you can get that preventive care done in a 3-way phone call. Now that person who helps make that member service person who helps do that, when that person goes to that office, they are immediately bonused. Immediately. It comes up on a screen, everybody knows it, and so they know exactly that has had that effect. That's how we get to be #1. And so it's 55, like during 10th of the month, you'll have somebody's at 55, somebody's at 42, somebody's at 52. Everybody knows where everybody is, and it goes all day long. So it really makes everybody very competitive, and we all like to win, but it gets us towards that goal in a very immediate way. And so I think that's something that you really have to think about is how do you immediately touch those employees you have to get them towards that goal. Lastly, I'd like to talk about leadership, because all of you in this room are leaders, and I think sometimes we shy away from that, and we shouldn't. It's a very powerful thing to be a leader. People crave leadership. Your employees crave leadership. Mostly anyone in your life craves leadership. So think about that vision you have. Make sure you know what it is. Where are you a year from now? Where are you 3 years from now? Where are you 5 years from now? Can you tell me? Can you tell your employees? Does every speech you make, does it say that? Everything you do, does it say that? That's important to be able to communicate that vision and then make the tough decisions. Maybe that goes back to being a doctor. I make a lot of tough decisions as a doctor, but you make a lot of tough decisions in business that affect everyone in your company. So when you're making those tough decisions, if you do it thinking about people first in an ethical manner, you've got it. So that's my speech.